Good.
Good afternoon, everyone out there in YouTube land. We would like to welcome you to our book review. And our book that we're going to review today is Olive Oatman, A Life from the Beginning to the End of Olive Oatman. Um, this book is a true story, and it's about a white woman that was kidnapped by Indians, and it's going to go
Mhm.
through how she endured through this time, and 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 it's gonna tell you about um how she was an iconic figure in American history, um
Yeah.
and to give you a little bit of background on her. At the age of 14, she was a 14-year-old pioneer girl, and she was of the
Mhm.
Mormon faith,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and her family set out on this journey to a promised
Mhm.
land. And I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm gonna ask Jazzy to take it from there.
Right. They was going west towards Zion, but it was a bunch of people that went to that particular church. So they
Hmm.
always did it
Mhm.
that way. And what happened was Olive's father, he separated from the group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, he
He
did.
wanted right. He wanted to go someplace else. And it was just them. And mind you, this is Indian territory, right?
Yeah.
So, so it's like it
Yes.
was 7 kids and the 2 parents, which was 10.
Hmm.
And what happened was the Indians, the Yapa Indians went and took the food that they had, everything, and murdered the family and
Mhm.
left 2 kids alive, which was the
Yeah.
2 girls, which was Olive and her sister Marianne. They
Hmm.
Right.
they tried to kill the brother. They beat him and they threw him off a cliff, but he didn't die.
That's
So
right.
Yeah.
what happened was they took those 2 girls hostage,
Hmm.
and they were
Mhm.
treating them like slaves, the 2 girls.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and they were there for a while, being mistreated,
Mm.
and like I said, they was treating them like slaves.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
with the Yapi Indians, they when they start having flesh on flesh, that's at puberty. But
Yes.
they wouldn't
Mhm.
touch those girls because they were afraid that if they touched those girls, they would get a disease.
Hmm.
Right.
You got to remember,
Mhm.
Christopher Columbus, when he came over, he brought syphilis, so they were
Yes.
afraid. So
Mhm.
they didn't touch those girls. They made them do all kinds of other stuff, but they didn't do anything,
Hmm.
wrong to them.
Yeah.
And what happened was the Mohave Indians wanted a chief daughter. She traded some goods for the 2 girls.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You remember that part where she traded some goods for the 2 girls, and they gave them the 2 girls, and then when they got them, they treated them well when they got
Yeah.
with the Mohave Indians.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Correct,
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
right? So
Mhm.
then, what happened was the brother. They found the brother. He was still alive, and he
Right.
was right. He was looking for his sisters. He was looking for them for a very long time.
Oh
And,
yeah.
yeah, eventually he found them.
And
And
Linda, um,
Yes.
give us
died
some.
because she was really sick. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The while Olive was in the camp with these Indians that captured them,
Yeah.
she began to like get the tattoo, of course, and how they did it, but they
Hmm.
never said if her sister got one. And then they let's see, constantly being mistreated, um,
Hmm.
and and of course the whole family except for the two were massacred.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we go down to where, and then another thing we mentioned, her dad was a very stubborn man. He
Yeah.
wanted to really do his thing, but you know, until he just gave up, and the train. Let's see, it was like about I don't know 20 wagons that one
Yeah.
time all tried to follow. and to get to this other area, other state.
Yeah.
Right.
But it didn't work for them because of the Indians attacking them all the time.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So so far as Olive, uh, the Indians began to meet uh, different uh, with them and started to want to try and was going into trades. There was other sets of Indians too that were coming in,
Hmm.
and they wanted to really take over. You know,
Yeah.
the 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 wagon itself. So it went on from there, where, like you said, the the Indians, of course, didn't want to touch the girl so far as sex and all that was concerned.
Right.
Yes.
Uh, and, and then it went on to where is this chapter 4 here? And let me see. This is
The
anybody else got any more to say on that part before I
yeah.
jump the paragraph?
Yeah. Okay, like you were saying, Linda, they were treated differently. If you when you get
Right.
into the book, you're gonna see the difference of how they were treated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first set of Indians that had them treated them like slaves. They made
Mm-hmm.
them cut wood. They made them do everything they could think of. They beat
Everything.
them.
Right.
They didn't have no shoes, so you know that their feet were messed up. And then when the
Mm-hmm.
Mohave tribe got them, they didn't know how to accept the treatment because they treated them like they were part of their family.
Yes.
They became part of them. They taught them how to uh, go
Mm-hmm.
out and forage for food, and she in turn taught them
Yes,
how to
that's true.
garden. And the chief's wife adopted them.
Right.
She considered them as being her daughters, and her daughters fell in love with them, and
Mm-hmm.
they began to build a bond.
Mm-hmm.
And during when the Moabs had them, the Moabs was more how you said it, when they got into puberty, they
Mm-hmm.
you know
A little
I was
difficult.
trying to yeah, I was trying to find a nice word, but but
I know.
they like skipping through the pansies. They didn't have no restrictions, but um Olive and her sister, they didn't
Mm-hmm.
participate in that because the chief didn't want them to participate in that. It had to be their choice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she saw they learned the language. They've been with them so
Yeah.
long that they no longer spoke English. They understood it, but they didn't speak it.
Right. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And
Right.
they saw the good part versus the evil part where they were at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Right.
Olive thought, my family is gone, everybody's gone, so we might as well, accept where we are, and that's what she did. But still,
Yeah.
her sister Marianne, she was sick when she was with
Yes.
the I cannot pronounce
First.
their name,
Yeah,
um,
Yapa
that
pay.
first.
The
yeah,
Yapa pay.
the Yapape Indians,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and that sickness came back, and to sum it up, her sister ended up dying, and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
the chief did not want them to do the ceremonial burial where they burned the body,
Right.
Right.
and
Cremate. Mm-hmm.
Olive didn't want that, to happen. So the chief took and found a place where they
Right.
buried Marianne.
Right.
And, but
Right.
I think they buried her in that garden. That
yeah,
garden that they had, that's where she buried her sister because she didn't want her to be cremated.
right.
Okay. Right. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
It's really a good book, guys. I mean, it's a true
Uh-huh.
book.
mhm,
It's something that you may want to read. I mean, it's a short book. It's really good. I
mhm,
think it's
Yeah.
very
I
interesting.
thought it was interesting.
That's
Very.
really,
Uh-huh.
really interesting.
yes.
And mhm,
Hey,
Carol, yes,
Jazzy, could you elaborate on that tattoo?
yes,
A lot of people feel like she was forced to get it. No, she wasn't.
Right.
she
The
wasn't.
No,
Moab
she.
women, they got that tattoo. Could you explain that?
Right. That's how. That, right. They got those tattoos, and she wasn't forced to do it. She
Mhm,
wanted to do it
Yes.
because that's the life that she lived, for a good while. So she wanted to get that tattoo on her face. She didn't know that they were going to eventually get her and bring her back,
Right.
with the Americans. So
Mm-hmm.
this is something that she wanted to do because they treated her pretty well
Yeah.
when she was with the Mohave. So she did get that too. She was not forced to get it because in that part of the book I read, and I was like, she didn't, they didn't force her. This is something that she wanted to do on her own.
Mhm.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And
Let's see here.
and to bring back in
Okay.
to throw
Let's,
this back in there, her brother didn't die.
Right. He didn't die.
Survived.
right. Right.
He survived.
Her brother, yes, he did. And there was a letter written to the brother had
Yes.
written for to try to reach and find where his sister's
Mhm.
other families may be.
Mhm.
Um, so that was interesting. It took a long time for the letter to get where it was going, but that back in the day, that's how it was,
That's
Yeah.
you
right.
know. So let's see here. Other than that, though, moving on down. Did you have something else to say?
Um, to go along with what Linda said about that letter, how the letter took so long to get there, and he
Mm-hmm.
was writing to that fort that they had first stopped to
Mm-hmm.
when they were traveling in that journey before they were massacred. Their family were massacred, and the captain wouldn't help them then. And then when the letter finally
Right.
got to him,
Mm-hmm.
he still refused to help.
To help.
He
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
helped
So
him
mm-hmm.
it did take,
find
Right.
her.
yeah. It took them a long time, but they did eventually get,
You know, that was
so
something. You
Yeah.
know, because they they felt like that if
mhm, mhm.
mhm,
Right. Right.
and on top of that, you know, doing all
Okay.
these trials and these struggles, this guy that knew him saw the
Mm-hmm.
Mojave in I'm gonna call him by his name, Lorenzo's sister, and he wrote him a letter and let him know that your sister is alive. She's with
Yes.
the Mohave Indians, and
Yes.
they do
Mm-hmm.
trades. So he got up, and he came down there. He wanted his sister back, and so he finally impressed upon that captain of this fort to help him. And so
Mm-hmm.
they made up some kind of meeting with them so they would come back and trade some
Right.
more. And Olive came back with
Mm-hmm.
her. And so this
Yes.
man told him, said, "Well, um, she has a brother, and he was willing to trade dust and dust
Mm-hmm.
for her." But the chief didn't
Yeah.
really
Right.
want her to go, but he let her
Right.
decide. And even Olive did not want to go because she knew that she couldn't
She
fit
didn't.
into. Go ahead, Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She couldn't fit in because she was speaking their language. She had
Yes,
that tattoo on her face. But
yes,
I mean, she
Yeah.
went because missed her brother. Thank God her brother, he made it because
hmm
they beat him really bad. I thought that he died, but he was still
Uh-huh.
alive, and
He
he
was
was looking
still
for his
alive.
sister. He found his sister, and when he did get his sister, she went and stayed with him, and then they met some minister, and he wrote the book. A lot of stuff that he wrote in that book wasn't true because they were
yeah,
saying that she was married and to one of the Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a child, but it wasn't true. She
Right.
wasn't
wasn't
true.
married because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't touch American women,
No,
so that wasn't true.
nope.
And
Right.
then he wrote that book. They did a lot of seminars on what happened to her when she
hmm
was in captivity.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was
Right.
doing at the time, and eventually she met a man and he married her. So even
Yes.
with that tattoo
Uh-huh.
on her face, she did get her husband, but they were saying that she was the first white woman to ever get one of those tattoos because that
Right.
tattoo that she had was from an Indian tribe.
Yes,
Right. Another
and
thing
that
too, they said that she had lines. We didn't know, but later on in the chapter, they said that she also had those a long line of tattoos on her arm, but she
Correct.
couldn't hide her face. Uh huh.
yes,
So yeah, she still was going through some rough times for
hmm
sure. But it was just a little better when she met this preacher,
hmm
Right.
and of course she moved in a different state where civilization, in other words, for her.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
her what she used to be used to, but she was so young.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
It's
just
it's,
made
it's so True Diva. What part of the book did you like? I guess I don't know if she heard me or not, but
I think she's a.
yeah, but the book was
Yes.
really good. The book was really really good, guys.
And
Mhm.
And you can get it on Amazon, and you can also get it for free. You
I
know, if
think
you
Yeah.
have
she's out. But
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yes,
let's
it
She didn't,
was.
see.
she didn't wind up having any children, but I think they adopted a child, her and her husband.
Right. Yes.
Say that
Right, they
again,
adopted
Jazzy.
a child when
Could you
I
repeat
don't
that
think
again,
she had
Jazzy,
any,
about where did they get it from?
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
right.
Yes.
I don't think she had any children. I
Yes.
think her and her husband adopted a child in a
Yeah.
part of the book. You
Yes.
remember
Hmm.
that part?
Right.
Yes.
Linda Carroll, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yes. The child. Yeah.
yeah, and I think when
Yeah. Her and.
her and her husband, yeah, they adopted a child. And like I said, it was
Mhm.
really, really a good book, Linda. What you thought? Did you think it was a fantastic book?
I thought it was very nice. Something different to read, of course, too, of
Yes,
her beginning and her end. You
yes,
know, and the changes and all that she went through, and the, you know, this guy here who took the book, you say, and started it. Um, he he got a lot of money off of
Hmm.
those books, and
yes,
so after he decided to leave him alone, but no, the brother was the one who said he wanted to leave him alone because he wanted to start his own, uh, family. And so
right,
Olive, she went on with this man. I'm trying to find his name. Uh, she decided to hang in there with this guy and let him make his stories,
Hmm.
right,
of their past.
Yeah.
right.
So and once she kind of got back, she became what did she say? She went to some schools at Center too, and let's see, she also had Stratton. That was his name, Stratton,
Yeah.
right?
Right, it
The
was
guy
Linda.
that wrote the
Correct,
book and
correct.
put in there what
Yeah.
wanted to put in there, what he wanted to put in there.
Yeah. He
So
wasn't telling
let's
the
see, the
whole
guy
truth.
that she right, that's true. But she would have
And
went along with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
she did for a little while.
And
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And she became a great
Yeah,
storyteller of telling of her journey, her trials through this.
right.
And her husband, he didn't want her
Uh-huh.
to remember that part of her life. He bought
of her
all the
life.
Right.
books that he could buy because he had money, and he would burn them.
Right,
He wanted to
Right.
not remember that, but yeah,
right,
and it told how she would wear a veil over her face to hide that.
Right.
Then they said that she
Mm-hmm.
died um in sanitarium, insane asylum, but she didn't. She died of a heart attack
Right.
at the age of
Yes, and
75.
that's
You know,
mm-hmm.
that's
the-
right.
and that the story said he was this guy was writing and putting out there. That's what made the picture of a woman, that woman was struggles, and then when they get them back, it's hard for them to fit
Yeah.
into society because they have already, well, this is what the book said happened to Olive Oatman. So
Right.
this happened to them. We can't
Mm-hmm.
accept them back into society because they have been tainted.
Right,
You
correct.
know, and
Uh-huh. Right.
it's a good book.
Yep.
It is a good book.
Right, and I think when she died, I think her husband he died like 5 years after she
Yeah,
died.
Yes.
5 years
Yeah,
after.
Right. That's what they said. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really good book,
After
guys.
her.
Something that will open up your eyes to things that you may have never even known.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think,
Uh-huh.
and her family, they were Mormons.
Yeah, there were
They were
Mormons.
Mormons. Yes,
Yeah.
but to me, I thought it was good.
It
What
was.
about you, Carol?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it was great. I loved it.
Uh,
Um, I read it
I did too.
twice. Read it twice.
Uh-huh.
It was
Right?
good. It was real good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought it was good too.
thought
I'm
it was good.
sorry.
Also, yeah, yeah. So well, anyway, that's the end of the book. I mean, certain
Yeah.
other things that you may, if you get into get the book, you can really get into detail
Mhm.
of
Mm-hmm.
what really happened. But I kind of think we summed it up. Entire book we summed it up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So,
went right through it. Right.
Linda. Yeah, I think we
I'm
did.
sorry.
Yeah, I think we summed the book up. We are going to do next week, Wednesday, we're going to do Queen Sugar and we're going to do Crawl. Correct. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct. The movie
Right.
Crawl.
Right. Right. So
Uh-huh.
that's what we're going to be doing next Wednesday. Thank you guys for, being on the panel.
Yes.
I enjoyed talking to you guys today. And until the next time, we're
Uh-huh.
out.
Yes.
Okay, everybody.
Thank you again,
Yeah.
everybody, for coming. Hey,
Oh,
get a book
all right.
and
Right.
read.
Yes. Yes. Thank you
All right.
guys.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.